I always wanted to know, like, as I watch different podcasts and I watch different Christian podcasts specifically, why the emphasis is on secular artists.
Rodney Jerkins is pressing me right now on Christian YouTube. This is great.
I'm sorry, but
no, this is great.
Ruslan.
I gotta ask you a question because, like, I've always wanted to understand this because I was watching another episode of yours recently, and you were talking about, you know, the dude from, I think, he's in Eclipse, and one of them
Malice,
Malice, and then
I like that he brought this up. So now this is fair game. Go ahead.
No. The reason why I asked because it's like I always wanted to know, like, as I watch different podcasts and I watch different Christian podcasts specifically, why the emphasis is on secular artists, right? Like I feel like there's a big emphasis on what happened yesterday with Justin Bieber's project just dropped, or Eclipse project just dropped, and it's like I feel like. It's interesting to me. I'm trying to learn, like, why as Christians do we study secular? Like, even in our label, I have most of my artists on my label will text me and say, "Hey, yo, you think you can get so and so on my project?" And it's always a secular artist, right? My son was talking to an artist last week, and he asked her, like, "So who are you inspired by?" She's a Christian artist, and it was like Drake, Kendrick, Future. These are all the people, and I'm just like. Is it that we don't have enough great Christian artists out there like for your son listens to, right? Do we not have enough, or why is it that we feel like we still have to go to the world to be inspired? And that's starting to jolt my spirit like crazy lately because I know, like, in James 4, we're not even supposed to be like looking at worldly things like that, and it's jolting me because I'm watching all of these different Christian podcasts, like, you know. I've had conversations with like a Marcus Rogers before, right? But let's say Marcus Rogers, like, he talks 9 to 10 times about secular artists. So I just want to understand, like, from someone who actually does this, like, why do we feel the need to go? Can we not talk about Christian artists? Is it not juicy enough? I'm just trying to figure out the perspective behind it.
I like that Rodney Jerkins is pressing me right now on Christian YouTube. This is great.
I'm sorry, but
this is great.
Me differently. I just want to understand
So I would say we are talking about Christian art. I'm talking about Christian artists. Okay. We did 2 Forrest Frank videos this week because he got miraculously healed from a back injury. It's supposed to take him 6 to 12 weeks. Oh, wow. And he got healed in 2 weeks, and he's back to walking without walking with a back brace, on top of having like 2 #1 songs. Wow. Back to back.
That's amazing.
That he wrote while broke without being able to use. So we just did 2 Forrest Frank videos this week. Okay. I've done videos highlighting Christian artists all the time, right? Did you know that every single person out there believes in miracles regardless of their worldview, even if they claim to be an atheist? They say that everything comes from nothing. We say that everything comes from Creator. They say order comes from chaos. We say order comes from order. They believe life comes from non-life, and we believe life comes from life. They believe consciousness comes from mindless matter. We believe consciousness comes from a mind. So this collection, making a statement of the miracles we all believe, is a great way to spark conversations and remind yourself when you put it on of the ultimate miracle, which is Jesus living and dying and rising for all of us. Pick yours up right now at blessgod.shop. Here's the macro though. The macro is there still is a culture out there, and in the same way that Jesus would use cultural references, he's talking about farming and agriculture. He's talking about the 10 bags of gold. He's talking about the 5 talents, right? Like that. Those are cultural references that I think people can resonate with. That stuff made sense to them at that time, right? Render unto Caesar what is Caesar's, right? So that's a reference to a iconic person in that culture. So when we're talking about it, I attempt to do 2 things. One, I attempt not to just dunk on culture and not just say, Justin Bieber is still smoking weed, right? No, I go, hey man, here's all the things he did really well. Like, I'm really proud of him for doing X, Y, and Z really well. I think it's dope that he talks about Jesus.
That's why I watch you so much, because I feel like you're not bashing people.
Yeah, and I really try.
And I feel like after you give the context of the content, you go to scripture.
Yes,
and I appreciate that. I've been really, I see a lot of artists always hit me up for the secular feature.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to figure out, like, why do we feel we really have to go that route?
I'll explain that in a second, though. So I think one, that's why I do it. And I'm also trying to create a different precedent that when the person I'm making a video about clicks in the video, they hear me sandwich it with something really positive, hopefully, and then a concern or a critique I may have, and then something really positive at the end. And oddly enough, people be watching. Like I mentioned Tyrese. Me and Tyrese became friends because I made a video bigging him up, and then said, hey, I'm concerned about some of this stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's my intent. I can't speak for everybody in the space. I do think that the music space is still slightly behind, because there is still a need for validation from the world a bit, where like I don't need a non-Christian to come on my platform to feel validated. If I get to interview, I don't know, Justin Bieber someday, cool. If I don't, cool. Like I don't need that to validate what I'm doing. Yeah. But I do think these are interesting cultural conversations where there's overlap with faith. I do think that. Yeah. But rappers desiring secular collaborations, I don't know. I think if there's genuine relationship with someone that you have, and they're a secular artist, or maybe a non-Christian artist, a secular artist who's a Christian privately, I think that's a bit different. Like I think we all want to make music with folks who we're friends with, even if they're not Christian. Like I think that's what creative people do. But the desire to be like, oh, like I need a verse from fill in the blank. I need a feature from. I haven't felt that way in a decade plus. I haven't done that. I just haven't felt that way. So I think there's still a desire for validation. I think we still want to be validated by the world because we don't feel validated in our identity in Jesus. And I'm not saying for everybody, all places, at all times. I'm saying generally, I think that's it's in my opinion from a little bit of an immaturity. Yeah, you know what I mean?
It's wild. It's just wild. It's wild because here we have the cheat code, the King of Kings, and yet we still want to be validated by people who are struggling with so many different things and pushing so much stuff on our children that's not of God, but yet we want that validation. Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah, no, that's good. Hey, thanks for checking out that clip. If you want to see this full podcast before it goes out on YouTube, consider signing up for a free 7-day trial on Patreon. You get to see this entire podcast before anyone else does. You get access to our daily after party streams after they get taken out from YouTube. And right now, this month only, we're giving you guys 20% off our Bless God shop. So you could pick up some of the new pieces in our Miracles We All Believe collection that is only available for a limited time. So here's a little teaser of what else is in this Rodney Jerkins podcast. Don't want to miss it. All right. Did you know that the mastermind producer behind Michael Jackson, Beyonce, Whitney Houston, Justin Bieber, Destiny's Child, the Pussycat Dolls, Lady Gaga, Black Eyed Peas, Mariah Carey, Sam Smith, SZA, and Maroon 5 is actually a devoted follower of Jesus? And the profound conversations about faith he's had with these massive names may shock you.
I remember when I worked with Michael Jackson, he called me out the blue and was like, I need you to pray for me. And I was like, okay, let's do that right now. He's like, no, I want to come where you are.
So I flew out and sat down in studio with Rodney Jerkins, also known as Darkchild. He's produced multiple songs that defined generations. Billboard #1 records that were massive multi-platinum moments. Grammys on Grammys on Grammys. But behind all the fame and flashing lights, he's a Christian in the heart of the secular music machine. So how does he reconcile working in such a dark industry? Whenever I've heard of Darkchild, I've always known you were a Christian.
Yeah, but there's another great line, right? Like a lot of us call ourselves Christian.
Was there any tension in terms of like you're producing for non-Christian artists?
I think I tasted it all, seen it all, and I know it's better.
Yeah,
I know God has better.
You're Solomon in Proverbs. Like I can't tell which season you're in terms of you having experienced the peaks of what the world has to offer. Then Rodney actually flipped it, pressing me about the intricacies and ins and outs of Christian YouTube, such as why do I talk about celebrities, many of which he knows.
I always wanted to know, like, as I watch different podcasts and I watch different Christian podcasts specifically, why the emphasis is on secular artists.
Rodney Jerkins is pressing me right now on Christian YouTube.
Ruslan.